everybody, this week we're celebrating Epiphany. We celebrated Epiphany in church yesterday. So that's when the wise men came and saw Jesus. So that's the story that we're going to talk about today. The Bible tells us how God told the world that his son Jesus, the Savior of the world, was born. Some very clever men from a far country in the east studied the stars and were excited when a bright new star appeared in the sky. A king has been born, they said. We must go and worship him. The wise men packed the things they needed for the long ride, along with valuable presents for the newborn king. They set out on a big journey towards the star, which shone so brightly every night. They went to look for the baby king at King Herod's palace in Jerusalem. King Herod's priests and teachers said that Christ would be born in Bethlehem. Come back and tell me when you find him, said King Herod slyly. The wise men started out towards Bethlehem. They saw the star shining in the east and went towards it until it was right above the house where Mary and the child Jesus were living. When Mary opened the door, she was surprised to see such important strangers from a far-off land. They told her they had even been to King Herod's palace to try to find the newborn king. The wise men bowed down before the Christ child and worshipped him. They knew he was God's promised Savior and Messiah, and gave him some very special gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The angel warned the wise men not to go back and tell Herod that they had found God's promised king, because he would try to kill the child, so the wise men went home another way. So like I said, yesterday on Sunday, we celebrated Epiphany. Epiphany is on January 6th, and we celebrate it whatever the closest Sunday is to January 6th, whether it be a little bit before or a little bit after. And it's when we celebrate when the wise men, the Magi, came and visited Jesus. Jesus probably wasn't still a baby when they came and saw him. He was probably a toddler. And we use this day to help us remember all the gifts that God has brought us, and we celebrate and worship Jesus. So we are going to make a telescope like the wise men would have used to maybe look at the star to follow and find their way to Jesus. For this craft, you're on paper, towel roll, a cup with the bottom cut out of it, tape, paint, and a Sharpie and a paintbrush. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your paper towel roll and your cup, and you're going to tape them together. You're going to get some tape, not a whole lot, otherwise the tape will just get tangled up with itself, and you're going to start taping. It'll probably take you few rounds of tape to get it all nice and attached, and any gaps between the cup and the paper towel roll all sealed up so you can't see them. You don't want to use too much tape at one time, otherwise you're just going to kind of create a big old glob and mess with the tape. Once it's all sealed together, I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to write on my cup, wise men still seek him. And then I'm going to use my paint to paint my tape and my paper towel roll and make them all the same color. So then I can paint over my tape so it's not super glaringly tape anymore. Mine's gonna be all blue, like the sky. And then you can just paint your tube all nicely to make it all one color and the match. And then after it dries, you could paint other things on it. You could write some Bible verses on it. You could do lots of things to finish decorating it after it dries, but that's completely up to you. So I'm just going to finish covering up the tape with the paint, and then I would paint the rest of the tube as well, but I'm not going to video all of that because that'll be kind of boring for you guys. Now we have a telescope that we can use to look at the stars like the wise men did when they went to go find Jesus. They followed the star. So I hope you had fun making your craft this week. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in Sunday school. Bye!